Okay. All right. All right. Got everything up. Our stuff is going strong. We got a good connection. Hopefully you can hear me. Audio sounds like shit. I don't know if that's any better. Okay. Hello. What's up? Okay. I'm sorry the audio is so awful. I don't know if that's any better. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Turn it up a little more. This mic is awful. I'm in a hotel right now, too. Hello, JT. Welcome, everybody. I will get started here in a second. If I can get my audio better. I really wish I could use my Alright. Guess I'm stuck with shit. I'm so sorry. Let's see what I can do about this stuff. That's gonna be... I might be able to... Hold on one second. Alright, forget it. I'm screwed. It's over with. Sorry about the coughing. My audio is a shit show. I really wanted to do this live. Alright. I've got to mute this so I'm not hearing myself. Okay. My computer wasn't making so much fucking noise right now. It's really hot because I'm streaming. So that's wonderful. So I'm doing this on a Mac, obviously, as you can see. It'll work the same on a Windows machine. Actually, the virus works better on a Windows machine because Windows machine, the way they compile text files, they're bigger easily, and you'll get what I'm saying later on when I start talking about that. But let me see. Make sure this is still going. It's still going. Alright. So we're going to make a new file, and I will go over what this virus is going to do in a minute. So we're just going to save this, and we are going to... I've got a Python's tutorial. We're going to create a new folder here, and we'll call it virus. And we will put it in here, and we will just call this virus. Thinking about going PC gaming, that's cool, man. Alright. So now we got this, and I'm also going to get my output open here. So I have my terminal too. One thing you're going to have to do for this is you're going to have to open your terminal after you have Python 3 installed. That's what I'm going to be using. You're going to have to install a library called random word, so it's just pip install random word. I already have this installed, so it won't matter for you. Also, pip install web browser. Is that it? Maybe it's pip install web browser. What is it? Crap. Maybe you don't have to import that. Oops, shit. I'm trying to remember the ones you need to import. I have already got everything I need. Install. Pip install subclass. Nope, okay. I don't think you need to install those. Everything else we'll need is built in. I was just making sure that we didn't need anything. Bye, JT. Thanks for stopping in real quick. Alright. So most likely I'll remake this video later on when I have a better mic. So I'm sorry for that. So first we're going to import, well first actually let's get this open here. Let's open a folder. We want to go to the directory where you created the folder and open that. You're going to want that for later and you'll see why. Get rid of that stupid welcome and open this back up. We can close that. So this virus is super easy and can totally fuck up someone's computer. I accidentally almost broke one of my computers because it crashed so hard from this. Basically, this is a virus that is either, you got two options, or you can do both at the same time, but it wouldn't really make a difference, I guess. One, you're overpowering the processor, forcing the computer to crash. The other one is you are attacking the computer storage. And it doesn't harm the person's files or anything, it just fucks up their computer. So we're going to import random, and we're going to import string, import subprocess, import web browser, import random word from random. I should reply. Should be working. Should be doing that. Oops. Jesus. My bad. Okay, so once you get those in, save it, I guess. And we're going to do some pseudocode. If you guys don't know what that is just making comments. So we're going to start by, we don't want the user to know this is happening. So we're going to put in what I like to call distractions. So I'm just going to make a comment here. And we'll call it distractions. Put a space here. Distractions. And what these will do, I'm just going to do this, make it look nice to block it out. And we're going to be making a bunch of for loops here. So we're going to have a couple for loops here, and I'll explain what they're going to do. We're just making our comments now so we know what we're going to need. I'm probably going to need 2 lines here for this time. These for loops will run various Windows apps and websites to distract the user while the computer is attacked with either a processor attack or hard drive, storage attack, to prevent user from realizing what is going on. So what does that mean? Basically, this is going to be a bunch of for loops that will prevent, that are going to run, I'm just making this look nice, that's going to run before or during the virus, while the virus is happening. So that way the user will be so focused on these distractions that that they're not even going to realize what's happening on the computer, because the way this virus is working, you would be able to notice it normally. At least the average person would be able to, but so we're going to first, and I'm going to be making some things that won't work on a Mac. I'm doing this for the people that are on Windows. So these distractions are for some of these are for Windows. So we're going to do we're going to make a for loop that opens the calculator, and we will make a for loop that opens a YouTube video, and we will for loop, we'll do one more that opens Microsoft Paint. And that'll be it for those. Then, so let's make those first. Let's do these parts of the virus first. So we're going to create a for loop that will run X amount of times, and it's just going to spam open the calculator. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you spam open a calculator with what's called a sub-process call, which is right here, that means it'll keep going. It'll open at the same time. Calculators, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you spam a certain thing enough on a computer, it's not going to be good. So we're going to do for x in range, and this is just a basic, we'll just say 5. This is just a basic for loop, and I'll go over this in case you're a beginner. Subprocess.call, and we will do, let's see, Windows System 32, and calc, let's see, I think you actually, oops. I think you need doubles here. If you don't, let me know. I can't test this because I'm not on a Windows machine. So this is saying for x in range 0 to 5. So it's going to run 5 times. X is kind of just a placeholder right now. Subprocess means it's going to call this 5 times at the same time. So this is going to open calculator 5 times. And you can make this 500. And that'll break your computer. So don't do that. Or you can make it an infinite loop. I wouldn't do that either. But I will show you how to break a computer if you are so inclined. And we will do another range of 5. And this will be another subprocess call. And it's going to open a YouTube link. So let's open a new window. Let's go to YouTube. And we will go to biggest Xbox collection, because Xbox is awesome. Don't worry, I like PS4 as well. There it is. There's me. It's my old video. I have an updated one. So we're going to get off that, copy the link, paste the link there, and that is all well and dandy. Let me check the chat because there hasn't been. Oops. Okay, good. That is still going. Just making sure. I probably lost people because the audio is shit, so I'm going to remake this later on. And we want to do, well, I'm sorry, new 2. And we're going to do for x in range, another last for loop for this part. And this is going to be very similar to what's above. I think it's 2 slashes, I can't remember. If it doesn't work with 2, let me know. It might actually be 1, but it might be like that. I think it's like that. Yeah, I think it's like that. I don't know. Either single or double or set up like this. So we're going to save this, and we're going to have problems. What is the problem? Not missing. Maybe I don't need this. No, I definitely do. Alright, well, whatever. That's just my linter anyway. That's weird. We're going to run this. Most likely it's going to error because it has no idea what these Windows things are. So we're going to clear this. And I am going to comment these out for now. I'm going to run this. No, let's just not do that then. What is going on, dude? Oh, I don't need a sub process. I need a web browser here. Jesus. I was like, why is this being weird? Alright, so you can see that it just spammed 5 of those tabs. And that can just be kind of a tedious thing to... Damn it, I just closed out my fucking YouTube streaming. Ugh, there it is. Alright. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. And I need to pop out for the chat. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so that opened the web browser 5 times. If you're on Windows, this should have opened the Microsoft Paint and Calculator 5 times. But again, I'll keep those commented for now. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a loop for the real part of the virus. So we're going to have 2 types of attack. So we're going to, let's just go down a little bit. For a loop to control how many times the chosen attack will run. Because we're going to write 2 here. We're going to say for x in range 0, 5, and we'll start there because we don't want to destroy our computers. I'm just putting 5 there so it stops airing out. I'm going to copy this fancy comment. And we're going to call this first one speed attack. And this will attack a computer's processor and will slow it down so much that it may crash. Right. So we're in a for loop now because we wrote it up here. I'm just going to take that out actually. It doesn't matter if it. So within this for loop, we've got to indent. Make sure you indent, folks. In this for loop, we have to basically, this is what it's going to do. We're going to spam the creation of empty text files over and over and over again. And we're actually going to do a lot more than 5. Let's do 500 so I can show you the severity of this. This is, you might think, well, what the hell is 500 text files going to do? Like I was saying before, every time you process a new text file, that's a process. And when you do a shit ton of them, you can crash a computer. So if we create random, we'll create this variable called random name, and we will do that. And to start with an empty string. Oops. And we're going to join that with random.choice string.ASCII letters. So this is going to access that string library we opened. So it's going to grab random letter plus string.digits, and going to do 4 and in range 32. And that's just going to make a 32 character length name. And we're going to call this write file, and we're going to open random name plus text w. And what this is going to do is this is going to open a file called randomname.text. Oops, I gotta add that .text. So what we're doing here is we're creating a random name here with random letters and numbers. And with those, we're going to take that random name and put it here. Now, when you open a file that isn't created, the computer creates it for you. So this is going to run this loop 500 times, and it's going to create one every time. But we're not done. We still have to write file .write string random name plus. And that will make it so it's not empty. Then we will do write file.close when we're out of the loop. Now, let's run this. I'm going to comment out this so I don't have to deal with closing that every time. And we will run this. And boom, right here on the left side, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And that's what that 32 was right here. So these are all 32 characters long. Random letters and numbers, lowercase and uppercase, it doesn't matter, whatever. And now, if we go into our folder, go down here. Now on a Mac, these are much smaller. They're bytes. On Windows, I think they're usually a kilobyte, or a kilobyte, which is a bit bigger. But we're going to get into why this is a problem. And we're going to do this by kind. Sorry. God damn. Okay. I'm going to delete those. I'm going to go to channel 1, delete those. Okay. Sort by. There we go. Now that'll sort that. Okay. So, now you're probably asking me, well, how the hell is this going to do shit to my computer? Increase that. Oops. By the way, if you break your computer, this isn't my fault. I'm not telling you to make 5,000 empty text files, okay? I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you shouldn't, because it's fun. It's kind of a cool experiment, I guess I should say. So this isn't even showing anything, because it's still going through those processes. And now, if I select everything, 5,000, 5,001 because of the Python file, which is down there. And if we open one, oops, cancel. It's got its name in here. So it also prints a random name, and then it puts the random name in the file. We're going to delete those. That's another thing. On Windows, if you run like an infinite loop, let's say, of this, that will crash a computer eventually. It happened to me. The computer blue screen, or didn't blue screen, it just shut off. And when I turned it back on, I had a couple 100,000 empty text files. Not on this, on my Windows computer. And yes, that computer works now. But emptying the trash on that thing took like an hour because there were so many. So we're going to dump that back down to 100 just to make life easier. And what you can do, so that is, actually, let's stop there. That is the speed attack. We're going to stop with that one right there. So that, the reason it's called the speed attack is, and I'll show you how you could do this. If you want this to run infinitely, you do while I is greater than 0, and up here you make I equal to 1. And we comment this out. So now, this is going to run infinitely, because 1 will always be greater than 0. We could do this, just for an example to show this works. So this will, oh yeah. So, every time this runs, it'll increase I by 1, and once I reaches 9, because that's less than 10, it'll be, we can do this. Actually, no, we want to do that, yeah. And I'll run this and show you that that worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9, not 10, because it's less than 10. All right, so we delete those, and that shows you. So if I is always greater than 0, that will run forever until your computer craps out. And I could destroy my Mac and show you that, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe one day. So I will delete that for now, and I will uncomment this. And I will get rid of this variable because we don't need that. And we're going to comment this out here. And we're going to jump down here. And we're going to do the next virus. And this is going to be called what should we call this one? The hard drive attack, maybe? We'll call it the storage attack, because we're going to attack their hard drive, essentially. So this will attack the computer's storage and make large text files with millions of words written in them. Sorry. Alright, so what does this mean? We basically have to do a little bit of what we already had done with the other virus. And like what we just did here. So I can actually, well, no, I'm not going to. We're going to write, because we do have to import random words here. So we're just going to do our random words. So we're instantiating random words there. And then we're going to do write file again and open, just like we did before. But this time we're going to do r.getRandomWord plus text, comma, W. So this is exactly what happened, what we just did right up here. But we created a random name here. This time we're getting a random word. So random words gets you a random English word. Just whatever random word. It could be nipple. Like some of the words I've gotten, I didn't even know. So yeah, that'll get you just a random word. And it'll add .txt extension. And then W means write. And then we're going to do write file again. And we're going to dot write and make it a string. And we're going to r.getRandomWord again, like that, plus, and we're going to do \n, so that way every word will be on its own line, and that will increase the file size. And then we're going to times by 1 million. And that, folks, is how you destroy someone's computer. So I'm going to show you this on the Mac, and it's not going to be as big of a deal. So you can see, hey, Hearthstones. You can see that this is slower, but that's because we're not trying to do a speed attack. If we were doing a speed attack, we would use the virus up top, because that is meant for mass writing text files, just real fast, running through, making a ton of them. This, we're slowing it down. We're making 100 text files with a random name as their text name right here. And then we are going to write in the file a random word 1 million times. Yep, 1 million times. So let's check out the size of these, because the idea is these files will be much bigger. And they are megabytes on a Mac. On a Windows machine, it's much higher than that. I think I had files that were 160,000 K before. Oh wait, no. We'll get there though. All right, let me open one. And you can see that this literally says, well, let's go to Hearthstones. That one's cool. Hearthstones. Whoa. Oh yeah, it gets a different word. Not the same one. Psychiatrical. And that is written 10 million times. Or 1 million. Sorry. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of these and delete. And watch this. See the storage available for 3.86? 44.87. But we're not done here. We are not done. We're going to add a 0. We're going to save. I'm going to tune this down to 20 though. That way I don't have to wait forever to delete them all. Here we go. Sarah Kate, that's not a word. Breakdance. Stakeholdings, nice. So it's cool to use the random word thing just to kind of mess with the person that you want to screw over, and I'm not telling you to do that. You're an adult, you can make your own decisions. So these, you can see, are much, much bigger. Look at the file size. And look at this, 42. So now we're going to take all of these and we're going to delete them. So now just imagine that you did this to someone's computer. Like, just imagine if you did this to someone's computer. And that's why we have the distraction. So all those run on top of what's going on here. So while you've got web browsers popping up and calculators opening in Microsoft Paint and all that crap, while that's going, you've got shit tons of files being made, taking up their storage. And you can change the directory of where these go. You can like do your research and look into that, but look at the file size here. I am destroying my storage. Look at this. 35.16. Like, I am just wrecking my storage right now. From text files. Like, can you believe that? So, what I recommend you do, like what I found the best thing to do was to increase the amount of files made and lower this. And on Windows, actually on some computers, and I will demonstrate this because it'll probably happen on here. Wow, look at this storage. It cut my storage in half. That is insane. All right, make sure I don't delete the Python. It cut my storage in half. How insane is that? So, what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate something here. And I'm just going to do one of these because I'm sure it won't go through. And if it does, holy shit, Max are great. It really just depends on the computer, honestly. If you have like a massive beast-ass computer with a shit ton of storage, you won't run into this issue, but I will go over what I was talking about just a second ago. My recommendation is you do more files at a less size, because if this is too high, the computer won't be able to handle it at all, and you'll get a memory error. And so to make sure you're safe when you're attacking a machine, you want to make sure you're not going to be going too much. You want these files to be made to guarantee damage will be done. And if you have it set too high and it can't even make one, well, then your virus is pointless. So I recommend keeping that at like 1 million, maybe 500,000 if you want to make them a little faster. I've noticed though, with doing it this way with the random word, no matter how many is being written to the file, it doesn't change the speed terribly much if you go from 500,000 to 1 million. But I found that 500,000 to 1 million was a good comfort zone. It was relatively quick considering this file is still going and it is printing 10 billion lines of text. I don't even know. Look at my storage here fluctuate. I just saw it at 30 something. Now it's at 41. Like, this is definitely. Let's see how long this has run so far. I don't think it's showing. It's still running this this script here. I'm not even going to open this text file. Damn. 10 billion lines of text getting written. I do want to go over a couple more demonstrations. I just want to see how big this file will be. It still says 41.7 gigs. I'm wondering if maybe this, like, let's see. Python, look at that. Holy shit. That's how much memory it's taking. Oh my god. Python is almost up there with OBS. Oh my god. It's still going. My storage keeps fluctuating. I really want this to finish because I really want to see what the file size will be. I didn't expect for it to take this long, though. Holy shit. It's still going. I might just have to end this process.